Okay, so creative content, what is that about? We are dealing with a story, and our story is going to be perceived from the person hearing the story or watching the story. They've got a different perspective to what we have as the storyteller. So if we want to change somebody's perspective, do we tell them that they're wrong? Because often as not, in the world of marketing, the first thing people do is point out the problems that people are having and how people feel about those problems. And then, once they've pointed out those problems and they've pointed out how people feel about those problems, they then turn up with what is their solution to their problem and what it is that that person's competitors are not doing to solve that problem. And that is basically the way it's done, isn't it, in the world of marketing. You appeal to somebody as somebody of authority that can solve their problems. Here are your problems, here is my solvement of your problems. And that is the way content creation goes, isn't it? But I think for every business, and that is the way it is. Is that the right way? Do you think? Do you think it's... What happens if we was to go the other way, instead of dealing with... Because every problem, every person's perspective is based on, you know, what they want you people to see and what they believe is the truth. You know, everyone has a noble idea of what they're doing. Like, for example, if you're out there as a content creator and you're teaching other people how to be a content creator and you're taking money from them, is that right? Or is it not? Because you're teaching them, you're giving them the benefit of your education, aren't you? And it's up for other people to appreciate that, I think. So content creation has a formula. Here's your problem. Here is my way of solving your problem. Here is the reasons why my competitors don't solve your problem. So that is why I'm the best. And that's the way it is, isn't it? How else can you do it? How else can you tell the story to get the result that you want? Because everyone needs to monetize their existence somehow. Everyone needs to be a consumer and consume someone else's products, because if there's nobody consuming your products or your services, how are you going to make money? So it's a very tricky situation, isn't it? I'm trying to think of an other way. Rather than point out the negatives, start with pointing out the positives. But would that work? Would it work to point out the positives? Because then people aren't going to see that they have a problem, and they're not going to feel about their problem because you're not pointing out that they have a problem. They may not realise it. They may know that there's something wrong, but they may not realise why it's wrong, and your position of pointing out what is wrong is what's going to benefit them. Does that make sense? Basically, content creation is a story, but there's a particular way in which you tell that story. And if you try to tell the story in any other way, it won't get listened to, because everyone's expecting the particular way the story is to unfold. So that's what you have to learn, basically. You have to learn how to tell the story in a way that people realise, yes, I have a problem and you have a solution. So they're going to be drawn to you rather than moving away from you because they're looking for someone else to solve their problem. Does that make sense? Well, maybe not. It's my thinking. And, well, that's it really. I'll speak to you later.